Walmart has a negative working capital. Coca-Cola has a positive working capital. Which company is doing better? I have another question for you. Being in supply chain and procurement, how can you improve working capital? In this video, we are gonna cover what's working capital, what's the difference with cash, what metrics can we use, how can we improve working capital, and what's the impact of inventory on working capital. Hi, I'm Marcia, and I love the intersection between finance and supply chain. Before diving into today's episode, smash that like button and subscribe to my channel to know about the intersection between finance and operations to financialize your sales and operations planning. Alright, working capital shows if a company has cash, another liquid asset like inventory and receivables to meet its short-term obligations. The calculation of working capital consists of current assets deducted current liabilities. Current assets are those that can turn into cash in less than 12 months, and current liabilities are those that are due in less than 12 months. Let's see the working capital calculations in real life with Walmart and Coca-Cola examples. You can find the information in the 10K. This is an annual comprehensive report that the U.S. Securities and Exchange Commission requires from public companies to show their financial performance. To see the working capital calculation, we need to head to the balance sheet that contains assets, liabilities, and shareholders' equity. Here we have the working capital calculations for Walmart and Coca-Cola. For 2023, Walmart has a negative working capital of about minus 16,000, and for 2022, about minus 6,000. These negative dollar amounts are in millions. Coca-Cola instead has a positive working capital. For 2023 is about 3,000, and for 2022 is about 2,500. These figures are also in millions. Okay, you can see that Walmart has a negative working capital and Coca-Cola's positive. But from the working capital calculations, we cannot say that Coca-Cola is performing better than Walmart or Walmart is performing better than Coca-Cola. For the comparison to be meaningful, companies must belong to the same industry. For example, Walmart against Costco, Amazon, Kroger, and Target. The good news is that now you know how to calculate the working capital with the 10K. To better understand the concept of working capital, we want to dive into a key component within current assets and within current liabilities. Like Walmart and Coca-Cola, most companies have cash and cash equivalent, accounts receivable, and inventory within its current asset. On the current liabilities side, it's common to find accounts payable and short-term debt. By breaking down the working capital calculation into its key components, we can see that cash is one of them. So, cash is not working capital. Cash is one component of working capital. Let's see the metrics to use. It is helpful to convert dollar amounts into days for working capital comparison among companies. Key metric to use is the cash conversion cycle. It shows the time that it takes for a company to turn inventory into cash. It represents how well a business is managing working capital. And we have three components. The first component is days of inventory outstanding. The second component is days of sales outstanding. And the third component is days of payables outstanding. Take the example of Coca-Cola that we have been following. Coca-Cola buys ingredients and packaging to then manufacture final product. During the time that such inventory is sitting in their warehouse or being used in production, Coca-Cola doesn't make any money. This is days of inventory outstanding. When Coca-Cola sells to Walmart, for example, Walmart may not pay Coca-Cola right away. During that time, Coca-Cola doesn't make any money either. This is days of sales outstanding. On its side, Coca-Cola may not pay its suppliers immediately. It probably has contracts in place with agreed payment terms. During that time, Coca-Cola can keep the cash or can use the cash while putting inventory into use. This is days of payables outstanding. The cash conversion cycle calculations consider the days of inventory outstanding plus the days of sales outstanding. This is the time in which Coca-Cola doesn't make any money. The thing or minus the days of payables outstanding. That is the time that Coca-Cola can use the inventory without having to pay. Let's see how Coca-Cola is performing on the cash conversion cycle. Let's keep in mind this calculation. Days of inventory outstanding equals average inventory divided by cost of goods sold times 365. Days of sales outstanding equals average accounts receivable divided by total credit sales times 365. And days of payables outstanding equals average accounts payable divided by cost of goods sold times 365. Let's make the calculations for each of these components with Coca-Cola. And we see that the first component, that is days of inventory outstanding, we get to 78. Then the second component, days of sale outstanding, we get to 30. And for the third component in the cash conversion cycle, that is days of payables outstanding, we get 308. Now we plug in these results in the cash conversion cycle calculation, and we get to minus negative 200 days. This means that Coca-Cola gets payment before having to pay its supply. This is amazing. The situation can be completely different with other companies with extended cash conversion cycles. Next, we are gonna see how to improve working capital. How can improve working capital? There are three main ways to do this, and they are not exclusive. A company may decide to follow only one, or may decide to do the three ways at the same time. One is to optimize inventory. Another one is to extend the terms with suppliers. And the last one is to shorten the terms with customers. An effective S&OP IBP process improves inventory management, a critical area with high impact on the working capital. By looking at the calculation, we can see that when inventory goes down, working capital improves. Instead, when inventory goes up, working capital deteriorates. This first way is about optimizing inventory and not minimizing inventory. The resulting inventory plan from S&OP IBP process needs to consider both the top and bottom lines in the P&L or income statement. By adopting a bottom line approach only, the company could experience lost sales, preventing it from generating additional profit. Too much inventory or too little is not good. Companies want to strike the right balance. Remember Walmart? The company went from empty shelves or lost sales to huge stockpiles at the store. The inventory plan as output of the S&OP IBP process becomes a critical element for operations and for financial performance, including working capital. About the other two ways, procurement can be helpful with extending payment terms with suppliers, and sales can be helpful with shortening payment terms with customers and improving collections. Let me make a summary for you. Working capital shows if a company has cash and other liquid assets to meet its short-term obligations. The working capital calculation consists of current assets deducted current liabilities. As cash is a current asset, it is part of working capital. Critical metric is the cash conversion cycle that shows the time that it takes for a company to turn inventory into cash. It shows how well a business is managing working capital. The inventory plan that is an output of the S&OP IBP process becomes critically important for operational and financial performance, including working capital. Wow! We have covered all the points about working capital and cash. Before you go, smash that like button and subscribe to my channel to know about the intersection between finance and operations to financialize your sales and operations planning. See you in the next video.